Hello, everyone, and welcome to Time to Talk with Ty. This segment today is, I'm so excited about this segment because I have been trying for over a year to get some young gentlemen on my show, some men. As you guys know, there's a lot of estrogen that goes on in this room, but we today have some testosterone on the set. So I am super excited about this. Today we're going to talk about marriage and just their views on marriage. So today we have Adam Sutton. My brother Adam Sutton. He is very near and dear to us. We have Eric Franklin. Yes, Eric is family.
Talk about it.
Yes, he's family. And he's also representing iRocLove, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later. I am representing with my iRocLove shirt.
Fire right there.
16 years. I think I'm going to a different color this year, but we'll talk about that.
That's splash.
Yes. And we have Dorian. Yes, and Dorian actually caught my attention because he posted on Facebook about marriage, and it was we're going to talk a little bit about that because he was saying that he thought he had to leave Rochester to find a wife, and I know that there are some women here that are looking to get married and preparing themselves for marriage, and we'll talk about what that means to prepare yourself to be a wife, because that is a thing, ladies. That is a thing. So do we want to start with Adam? I just want to really know now Adam is a young man, just graduated from college. I'm sure he doesn't tell us all of his business about who he dates, but I'm just so honored that he decided to come and share a little bit with you guys about what his views on marriage. And I'll let him talk because he comes from parents who are married and have been for many, many years.
Hi, everyone. How you doing? First name Adam. I'm freshly graduated from college, 22 years old. Just coming from a background with two parents that have been together 30 plus years. Probably should know the exact year. 35.
I should too, like 35.
36.
36, yeah.
So first things first, I know nothing other than a foundation and or a strong marriage. So I can't say that I've seen anything else other than, the right way to be married. But that being said, I know it's different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
Not every relationship turns out the right way. Or I can't say the right way. Not every relationship turns out the same way.
Right.
And
right.
to say that I completely understand marriage till its fullest would be wrong, because I've only seen one type of way.
Right.
I think that marriage is a call to satisfy a need, whether it's physical, economic, personal. You know what I'm saying? We get married and or find a partner to fill a void, in a sense. So I just bounce that off to the next one.
Yeah, I like that.
It's me. It's my go.
Yes.
Before I even go, you understand, I got this saying that me and the wife got. As Ty said, we got the iRocLove. So you've seen us before in any capacity. You already know what we do. We repping the rock. You could call it rock love, increasing the stock. Nothing's gonna stop us. So it's great to hear my man Adam. Parents married 35 years. My background is, my mom had 3 kids by 3 different men. My dad had 5 kids by 5 different women. But growing up, you know nothing other than that. So everything is family. But as you get older, you start to realize some things that you might just not want.
Right.
Contrary to his upbringing, mine was, it was family, but I felt like some pieces was missing as I got older and I started to see things, and I just wanted more for myself and I wanted more for my family. So right now, me and my wife, we stand going on 13 years of marriage. Shout that out. You understand me, Christine? I love you, girl. And then, we got 3 kids. Ariana, she's 17. I know it. 35. I know I don't look like it, but I'm 35. Christian is 11, and little Eric is 4. So we got three kids. We call ourselves Team Franklin 5. Got iRocLove, which is our marriage ministry. Pretty much empowering marriages and encouraging marriage at the same time. We make T-shirts. We do the 101 Kings and Queens photo shoot, where we represent healthy relationships and marriage. With the photo shoot, it's just to project the positive image of healthy relationships and marriage for people to see. That's right here in Rochester.
Right.
Because I used to think that you had to lead a rock to find a rock.
Right.
You understand? To put on a woman, but my grandmother on my dad's side told me, like, yo, boy, you ain't got to go nowhere. She right here. And at that point, me and Christine weren't together. We were parents, but I just wasn't trying to hear none of that. I'm going to Atlanta.
So, Eric, wait, tell us a little bit about, so you and Christine were in high school, right, when you met?
Correct.
Okay. You're in high school when you met, and of course,
Wilson Magnet, you
shout out to the Wildcats, you know what I'm saying? You're in high school, and Christine is pregnant, and you still felt like, okay, yes, we're going to have a baby together, we're going to co-parent? Is that what you were thinking?
So people would see us and they would think that we dated like in high school, like high school sweethearts. We actually didn't start kicking it until like the second half of senior year.
Okay.
We didn't find out she was pregnant until the summertime, so we were out of school.
Oh, okay.
But we knew each other throughout high school. And then she, found out she was pregnant. And my aunt told me one thing that changed my mentality. She was like, no, excuse me. She said, no matter what decision she makes, because the thought of abortion was in play. She said, no matter what decision she makes, support her.
Right.
And I just was like, that's fair. I can do that. And
Right.
She decided to keep her, and I just was like, I'm gonna be a present father, because I really don't remember anything in my infancy of my father being around. He may have been there, I don't know. But
Right.
I know, I just felt like I came into existence one day and my grandmother was raising me.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So so it's that. But yeah, so we weren't high school sweethearts, but we figured it out, and here we are.
Amen for that. Chris and I were not high school sweethearts either. I knew him in high school, but we were definitely not high school sweethearts at all. But it's an exciting thing to hear, and it's a love story. You know what I mean? It's a love story. It's your story, and it's a story that you can tell your children. So I think that's dope.
Appreciate it.
Now, Dorian. Oh, Dorian. So Dorian put up a post.
Okay.
Okay, and it just simply said that someone told you though that you needed to leave, just like Eric said, that you needed to leave Rochester to find a wife. And from that post, I'm sure not only did I reach out to you, but a lot of people reached out to you. So can you share a little bit about
that? So a little bit about my background. I do come from both parents, right? Mom and dad in the house together. So anyways, because I am involved in entertainment, I do a few things, and I travel around, and I do a lot of community stuff. I tend to network with a lot of young ladies and, meet people and mingle. And so a friend of mine said to me, it's going to be hard to find someone in Rochester that thinks outside the box, like you do, right? So there's certain things and qualities I was looking for in a woman. And so I actually posted it, just, I got some advice from a young lady. Told me, you might want to be looking for a wife outside of Rochester. And, kind of start a little fire flame. So it wasn't only some of the females saying, hey, I think you could find someone here. But a lot of the fellows were saying they kind of felt the same way, like, hey, Dorian, maybe, you should look outside of Rochester, right? So then when you reached out, I said, sure, I'm willing to come on the show. We can have it, have a conversation about this relationship. I'm a little older, I'm close to my 50s, but I'm not 50, but people think I'm much younger. Thanks to a lot of candy, and that we black don't crack. Right? We keep it 100.
It doesn't.
And so I'm out here looking for a wife and trying to network, and it's fun. But again, like you have these challenges, at least with me, finding someone from Rochester, right? And I don't discriminate. I date all flavors of women.
All races,
So,
all flavors.
Yes.
So now you said you have a list of qualities in your mind.
Yes.
Okay, and you don't have to share all of them,
We
but
can-
can you
we
just
can-
share a few?
So-
There may be, your wife might be watching.
You know what? So I always tell people it's got to be equal.
Okay.
What I mean by equal is, so I was raised with both mom and dad in the house, and they both worked, right? And it was kind of like an equal thing. So I'm looking for someone that's going to be on the same playing level, right? So gotta have a car, right? If I got a car, you have a car. Hopefully you have a house. You don't have to, but you have your own space. I happen to have a house. And be able to have some conversation. So I kind of like women who are kind of challenging, right? What I mean by challenging is you have good, deep conversations.
Okay.
All right. So I don't want a young lady who's just up under me all the time, right? Or where you going? So I'm kind of looking for that independent woman. Hang out with your girlfriends, do your thing, have fun. When we get together, it's 100. But you have you, I have me.
Right.
But lately, I've been meeting a lot of women, and it's just, I don't know if it's this this Me Too or this or what was I told last night? I'm a sexist or something. I'm like, what do you mean I'm a sexist? What does that mean?
What?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What do you mean? What was the we need to know the content of that conversation.
So I mean, I just think that women think that men who tend to date a lot, meet a lot of women. I think more of a player. That's what I call it.
Okay.
But so I'm trying to understand the whole sexist thing, right? So a woman says to me, "Oh, you're just a sexist." I'm like, really? I don't know. Maybe there's some. What do you think?
No. So okay. So you date a lot. If a woman dates a lot, do you think what does that make her?
She's looking for her husband.
Okay.
Right.
I feel like there's some people who don't think that.
Right.
I feel like some people think that if women date a lot, it makes them loose. It makes them, you know what I mean? I don't want to say the words on here, but it makes them that. And I feel like if men date a lot, they're just known as players.
Right.
They can do that.
Right.
And I've never been the type to kind of fall into those things because I was like told, if you're not married, you're single. So I should always be dating if I'm not married because I'm dating to, like Adam said, it's either emotional, physical support, something that you're looking for, right? And I also feel like I do feel bad for all of my single friends now because this. Oh my gosh, this day and age, this social media, this you tracking phones, you seeing where the person's at, you zooming in on Facebook to see if this young lady is the same place he's at. It hasn't gotten to that point for me. You don't even know if it's gotten to that point for you. Somebody watching you, you don't even know when it's gotten to that point. But this is the thing. I was, when my husband and I were coming up and we were young, every time I looked for something, I found it. So I've learned this. If you trust one another, you don't go looking for anything. You're not going to find anything. There's not going to be a reason to look for anything. But there are so many young women out here that because of reality television, social media, they are living these lives where they want to turn up. They want to roll up on you where you're at. They want to embarrass you. They want to cause drama. And that is not what it's about. I don't think that makes a wife. That's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy.
I would run for the hills if somebody did that to me. And like you say, if you don't have your own life and your own thing going on, that's important. Because even if you're together all the time, you still need some space, and you still need space as a man and space as a woman.
Yeah, and you want some goals or achievements, right? So I don't want a young lady that doesn't have any goals or achievements, right? I want you to be able to, you know what, one day I want to open my own shop. I want to do this. I mean, okay, let's hope you get there.
Right.
So that's why I think it's a little different, because the women I have been meeting have been more of dating, kind of stay home, not really ambitious, and it's cool. Because I guess there is some pluses to that. Some people say it's great to have a young lady to stay home all the time. You ain't got to worry about anything.
As long as the dinner is cooked and the house is clean. If the house is still dirty and ain't no food cooked, then it's not good to stay home. I don't think it's good to stay home, period. But that's me. That's me. I always like to have things going on. But there are some women who are raised that they're going to stay home and take care of the children. And that works. And like Adam said, that works for that family. Shout out to those women that are staying home, taking care of children, cooking, cleaning, all of that stuff, because that is a whole job. And shout out to the women who are still doing it, and we got whole lives going on, and businesses we're running and going to work, because it's a lot. It is a lot. So I think that definitely, where are those young women that are out there that want to be? What do you think? Where are the women?
So I could just from experience, as men, like we got to seek counsel. Counsel. I did. I like, because like I said, like me and Christine, we weren't together, and I was like, I'm not. When we separate, she was like, you'll be back, right? So I'm like, she told me that. She's like, you know, she said, you'll be back. Baby daddies always come back.
I'm the baby daddy's always.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, you got me twisted all the way, right? So I wasn't dating nobody light skinned. Like I didn't want, Keisha Cole was out then. You understand? She was fire, and I didn't really listen to her because she was light skinned. Like, but I it's the truth. It was truth. I was like, I'm done. I'm not going back. But but God saw it fit for it to happen. But so what happened is I talked to my dad. I was like, yo, like me and Chris, we didn't have any no drama. Like we had a daughter. I took care of her and stuff like that. Got her every weekend. And then I was talking to my dad, and he was like, like she comes from a good background. Like her grandmother, prays and stuff like that. And he was like, and when it all boils down to it, when you're in your hospital bed, you want a woman that could get a prayer through. And I was just like, oh snap.
Yes.
Okay, so I knew she was equipped, so I knew she had the potential in her, and we had the conversations and stuff like that. I quizzed her a little bit. I was like, I want 5 kids. And I was looking for a breach in the system. She said, okay, bet. I was like, I got this call of God in my life, you understand? So it's not going to be the easiest thing, will you be able to handle that? She said, okay, bet. So I was like, okay, cool. So it's little things that from other people's experience that they learn the value that I didn't necessarily have to go through, that I got to benefit from.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure it was a point where my dad went through something and he wanted a woman that could pray and she couldn't.
Exactly.
You feel me?
And
So he had to call his mom.
Right. Right.
Versus, I don't have to call my mama, just Christine, my day going good, but just pray for your boy real quick. And that just happened Friday. Or whatever. So it's just little essential things that I feel that seeking counsel will help alleviate a lot of the clutter. Like when it all boils down to it, you'll see the unfiltered truth and what you really want. And in regards to me, that's what I really wanted when it all was said and done.
And you knew what you wanted.
Yeah.
And now, Adam, going back to what Adam said about different strokes for different folks and relationships are different. So I know for a fact that his parents' relationship is very different than anyone else's. I love my aunt. I always tell her that when they made my uncle, they broke the mold. Like Jesus, he said, I'm gonna make one of him, and that's it.
That's it.
A man that comes home and works, like retired, but still working to make sure that his family never wants for anything. If my aunt wanted the new Range Rover, she got it. You know what I'm saying? It's not about material things, but it's just that he will not sleep if his family does not have what they want. Adam going through college, coming home and bringing the check. Now, this is a thing that I don't know no other man that's doing this. Bringing the check, bringing the money, putting it in the money jar. Like, this is the check, this is the money from the week. My aunt, the money is in the jar. She pays the bills. She has her own money that she's making. But my husband ain't bringing home no check, putting it in no jar. He not even asking me, you good? I want some French fries. Like, I can't get those. You know what I'm saying? I told him last night, I said I was hungry all day. You wasn't concerned. I don't want to talk to you. That's a real thing. It's a real thing. But no, that is the type of man he is. Now, will that work for Adam? And I know my aunt, she goes, now, son, are you going to bring home the money and put it in a jar for your wife? And he didn't say a word. So I said, don't answer that question. Wait until Sunday. Because I really want to know if you're going to bring home the money and put it in the jar every Thursday. You going to bring home the money and put it in the jar?
Well, first things first, shout out Valerie, Freddie Sutton.
Yes.
I just had to get that out. Every Thursday, if my dad does not have that money in the jar, he's hearing about it. I'm hearing about it.
So am I.
Tasharda's hearing
Yes,
about
I
it.
am.
With that being said, I think my dad has set a standard for my mom that she has become accustomed to.
Yes.
Kudos to him. Shout out to him for allowing not only my sister to go through high school, college, myself to go through high school, college, buying cars, AAU tournaments. It just I couldn't say thank you enough to my parents. Me personally, though, I can't say I would operate in the same fashion. I think that our marriage needs to be more of a 50-50 and an equal playing field.
Right.
I feel like my parents were born in the 50s, so, they're, getting married, dating, 70s and 80s. The typical housewife and or black family dynamic was a little bit different than it is today.
Right.
So I think my parents worked with exactly what they had and made the best of it.
Right.
To say that I won't take my father's ambition and want or need to make my family satisfied, I can't say I won't gravitate towards that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I mean, my thought on that would be just a joint account. So, right, you just set up a joint account and you budget.
Mm-hmm.
You put a certain budget in for the household,
Mm-hmm.
and then I still have my little thing on the side, and you have your little thing on the side. If I want to go do A, B, C, and D with the boys, I got my little budget for that. If you
Right.
want to do, so I think you can do a joint account
Mm-hmm.
and then set that standard up and say you put this much. So this is for the bills in the house,
Or a vacation.
or a
that we wanna go
vacation
on.
or something like
Mhm.
that. But yeah, I envy your father because to put the whole check in the jar.
I'm not.
That's
I'm not gonna say it's the whole check.
Okay.
But to say that my father is not a needy man by
Mhm.
all means. He's probably got 2 pair of sneakers,
Right.
2 pair of jeans, 2 shirts,
Right.
and a work uniform.
And a work
You know what I'm
uniform.
saying?
Mhm.
So his focus has never been himself,
Right.
and that's from day one. I think when he met my mom, he was working 2 jobs, cleaning floors at the mall. Like it was from the ground up that he wanted more for his family. So I definitely want to image or recreate my family in that image. I can't say that my parents' dynamic is what I want to put in.
It's different, definitely
But,
different.
Yeah, and I know I'm looking for someone to support. So if you have some ambitions, if I meet a girl, she's got to have some ambitions, and I need to have, and I'm gonna do A, B, C, and D. Okay, what you need? Let me help you out.
Right.
I'm doing A, B, C, and D at work, and I'm having issues with this woman. How should I address it? Right. So
Right.
you want to do A, B, C, and D, or so look for that. That's why I say it's got to be 50-50.
Yeah. Be able to talk and have those conversations.
And support each other, right?
And
so that's
support.
the thing, yeah.
But what I want to say, what I'm picking up, so it's his father, right? But the husband, but then there's the wife component,
Right.
you feel me? So you're saying that they broke the mold with him. She has to be something special as well, though,
You're
because
right.
everybody just ain't gonna qualify.
You're right. Shout out to Valerie.
You're right.
Shout
You're
out.
right.
Everybody
Yeah,
just
yeah,
ain't gonna
yeah.
qualify,
Shout
you feel me?
out.
And be
Yes.
responsible. Obviously, he keeps doing it because she's taking care of what she needs
Yes.
to take
That's
care of
right.
with the house.
Yes.
You can do that, and some people, then a lady, you could be $50,000 in debt. I done heard stories of
You're
some
right.
people trying to get finance for something, and then the credit report gets pulled, and the husband doesn't know the wife got a secret credit card.
Ooh, Jesus.
And they find out right there in the finance advisor office,
Yeah.
and he got to break up a fight.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
And I mean, my family, my mom did the same thing. She took care of the bills and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing different, So I think that probably is just a culture thing coming up because
Right.
40-50 type of thing. But like I said, he always had his own little side cubby hole money. He could do whatever he wanted to do.
My
and he
uncle
never,
will be asked,
yeah.
what you need that for?
Yeah.
You need $20 for what?
What you need that for?
What you need that for?
What you need
Yeah.
that for? Yeah.
We love them. And of course, we come from, shout out to my grandparents, because grandparents are so important.
Right.
So many people that I'm close to in life were touched or were raised by their grandparents. So it's a thing where we saw that model with our grandparents, and they took care of their children and other people's children back then, and it was, your aunt's kids was at the house, everybody was at the house,
Right.
but and they were able to, even if they didn't have a lot, they were able to make ends meet. But okay. So with, and I want to, maybe this is for Adam and Dorian. So with the way things are out there right now, and the young women, the selection that is out there, how do you even decide who you date, who you take the time to sit down with and go on a date with them? How do they get to that point? How do you get to that point with them? Adam, you want to, or Dorian?
Well, you want to go?
So I'm on all the sites, right? So this is how it works,
Dating
right?
sites.
This
Okay,
how it
all
works.
of them?
All the sites. That's how it works. That's how it works.
What's the site?
This is how it works. So you gotta understand. I'm a little older, but back in the day, we used to have clubs. People go to clubs, network, hang out, meet, drink, all that kind of stuff. Today, everybody has the cell phones and they have all these Mingle sites, right? Christian Mingle, Black Planet, Plenty of Fish, Match, all these different sites, right? So I threw my profile on there. Let me see what I can fish. Let me see what I can pull in. And so I meet women that way, or I might meet women through a friend of a friend. Hey, Dorian, I got a girlfriend who's single. She may be looking for a guy. You want to hang out? Usually the dates where I meet women because somebody basically kind of said, hey, I have a friend. Those usually work out better.
Okay.
Because obviously that person's kind of looking for something similar. Usually the Match.coms and the Plenty of Fish, those are usually the fun dates.
The practice dates. The practice dates.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you may be able to find something good out of there, right? Everything is a part of the package. You got different points, right? The pie is a whole circle, so 20% here, 20% here. You go around. But even still, with doing that, so I'm looking for between 35 and 45, right? I'm not looking for because I'm a little older. But again, those are some of the challenges, right? Because I'm a little older. Right. The question always becomes, do you want someone who has kids? Right. So I don't really want anyone that has kids. Possibly because they're like, you should be dating girls that have kids because you older and you ain't gonna find no single one. So that was one of the keys too. Why they were saying that it's going to be harder in Rochester, because when you go to a bigger city like Toronto, Seattle, those places, you have a ton of young professionals who are in their 30 to 35 who are single because they have more jobs there. So the pick is going to be much higher than Rochester, where you don't really have as many, corporate jobs here, right? So those are kind of some of the things. And like a friend of mine in Atlanta and DC, you see a lot of young African American people down there doing really well. One of my partners moved down there. He's making 6 figures. But he left Rochester to go there, and there's a lot of professional people making money, making moves in bigger cities. So that's kind of how she was saying to me, I don't know if you're going to find a woman with those qualities in Rochester, but you will find it in a bigger city, because obviously you have young professional women who want to be that CEO. Right. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that CEO woman, that, trophy wife too. She's got to be curvy. She's got to be right. She's got to turn some heads. Right. So that's kind of a thing too. Some women say I'm too picky. Right. So, but my thought is, if you're gonna do it and you're gonna be with a woman and it's a lifetime thing, because I don't believe in getting divorced, because I grew up with my parents together. So, try to go for yours. Don't settle for less. Right. So that's kind of my scenario.
I agree with that. What do you think, Adam, as far as picking someone to date?
To bounce off what Dorian said, I know that I'm too picky. First things first is you got to know yourself and what you want out of life. I think I have, as of recently, put a standard on myself that I need to uphold. That's cool. Eagles don't fly with pigeons. You hear me?
Talk about it.
All right. So now if I'm out in a setting where it's a club and I'm out with my boys, I can't say I'm really approaching too many women, because that's the typical scene of, the environment. First things first, for me to even approach you, I got to see what you're looking like, what you're wearing, and who you're with. Okay.
Who she's with?
Who you're with.
Oh, okay.
Because you are the company you keep.
Right.
If your homegirl is over there cutting up, falling out, throwing up, this ain't your day. But
your day is coming.
Your day is coming. Okay? So, that's all I know. Secondly, conversation is the best thing. I want to say that I've just matured to the point where the physicals don't attract me anymore. Taking you out and being seen with my boys doesn't do anything for me anymore. Can I bring you around my mother, and will she approve of you?
Lord,
talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? That's the real question.
You can bring her around.
But
the second half.
will she approve? So, I think just first of all, knowing yourself and where you want to get to is the first thing, and after that, it's simple, because people will show themselves, maybe not on the first time, but the truth always comes to the light. And I honestly, I just listen. People always tell you your intentions, where they want to take you, what they want to do with you. You just got to be able to listen, and I think that's where God comes into it. the Lord will talk to you. You just got to know how to listen.
Right.
Because, hey, I want to go on vacation. They serious about their vacation. How serious? Am I about that vacation? 0. But I'm saying, and I don't, and selling that false hope and those false narratives, like, I got to get out of that. Because that's putting me farther back from freeing myself, and that's only putting her in a point where now she's tied to me thinking that this is something where her number one, her whoever is right, weighing where he needs to be. So it's just, I think it's just knowing the person, knowing yourself.
So if you're not really interested in a woman like that, where you see that it can lead to marriage, you're saying get out of her way and let her husband find her?
Absolutely,
Okay.
and I'm quick with that. I want to say I'm upfront with women to the fact that I don't think this is going to be serious. I think this is just going to be a physical thing. Now don't get me wrong. I'm gonna run until the wheels fall off. I'm gonna run until.
Whoa, your mother's watching.
No, just
Man,
No,
grown.
But
No, I know he's grown.
yeah.
but
What?
I just, when I say that, I want my intentions to be up front.
Right.
And then we take it from there.
But you already told them that up front.
Yeah,
Like, this is
absolutely.
probably not going to lead to
What you think.
it's
Absolutely.
going to lead to. Okay.
So,
But this day and age, they might be like, okay, cool.
Right.
Me either.
Right.
right.
They
So
they could be.
I one of my recent dates that I did recently, and I thought it was funny, but it was good. Met a young lady, everything was cool, everything was going well. So for me, if everything is going well, right, now I got to see how it's going when it's not going well.
Right.
I need to see the bad. So
Right.
now I start interjecting and throwing things in, right, to try to see
Purpose?
purposely.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the
Purposely,
test.
right?
You
The
test.
test.
I'm
And I actually said the test.
Good.
Right? Listen.
Y'all better listen.
Listen.
Y'all being tested and failing.
Listen. I actually said that to this young lady, and she was flipping out. Wait a minute, you mean I've been tested? I'm like, listen, how else does a young man get to know you, right? If everything is going good and everything's 50-50 and you haven't seen the bad things. So I'm going to throw some bad things in there. I'm going to see how you react, right?
Give us an example.
Give you an example of something.
Don't use
that-
something that you're going to use on the Just give us an example.
So, I mean, so let me think what would be a good example. Say we're dating and everything's going well, and everyone, between me and you, we go out. I always pay for dinners and all this kind of stuff, right? You may have paid twice. So one day, I may throw something that I feel like, you know what? I'm going to meet you there. I don't have no money. I'm broke. You're going to have to cover this whole thing. But while I'm there, I'm going to put on there like red lobster, like the highest thing on the menu, right? I'm going to see if you are going to be willing to spend that extra dime on me at that high level. Are you going to say, wait a minute now, I'm dating, we doing this type of thing, but you're not getting no steak tonight if I'm paying, right? Because usually when you go out with a female, they'll pick the highest thing on the menu and see if you're going to cover that cost. Okay, hey, I'm paying for this red lobster or that steak. And you expected to do that. So I'll do the same thing. And if you come back saying, well, you know, Dorian, I ain't really bring that much money that night, so we gonna have to be. Let's go on the appetizer side, right? We gonna do some appetizer
Stay on the
that night.
appetizer side of the menu.
So I'm gonna say, okay, well, she's not. So to me, that's a sign of she's not willing to go the extra mile, right? Another example, you meet a girl, and you say something real left field, like. Everything's straight, everything's going. You say, you know what? Example. So you say something like, you know, I really like when you wear. I ain't gonna go here. I don't want to get too.
Don't use your stuff now because you won't be able to use it again after this.
But basically, you say something that is challenging to where the female will think about, what did he just say to me? And if it goes left field, like she wants to blow up, then you know it was never meant to be.
Okay.
Because you got to take the good with the bad, right?
Okay.
We should be able to have conversations and be able to have good arguments, right? So that's some of the things that I'll do, because you don't want to be with a girl or a young lady, everything goes well, then you move in together, and then as you start finding out all these things, right?
And
it's
that's-
usually too late. So I usually kind of throw things in from the left to see how you're going to react. I'm really laid back. I'm not really confrontational. So the only thing that will piss me off with a female if they cheat on me, right, If you want to be with somebody else and you're
Right.
interested, just be, I ain't
honest.
finished with you. Okay, we cool. It's a million fish out here. We can do good.
Right.
But if you cheat on me, then I'm upset because you could have just said, hey, I'm not feeling you. I just want to move on.
Right.
So that's the only thing that really upsets me. Other than that, I'm like laid back.
That's good. Whoa.
She's like, whoa.
They're being tested out here and don't even know. Y'all failing.
She flinched.
Yeah.
She ain't the one. I'm telling you, I was
That's crazy.
I was in
I'm
Christine's
surprised.
face like, yo, I want 5 kids.
Yeah.
She said, okay, she ain't flinch.
Christina's a riot.
She knew
Christine is
she
a
wanted the
riot.
prize.
Right.
But see, but I think females don't test men.
Right.
I mean, you don't have something questions
What?
that you don't have certain things you say. Because I mean, how else do you get to know a person?
You know, honestly,
And maybe the word
I've
test
been
is
out
the right
of the
way,
dating
but
game for many
Right,
years
right.
now.
I'm
About
like,
30. But no, just listening to my female friends who are single, not so much that they test men, but they do want to know that they're going to be taken care of if they have to be taken care of. But these women are women who are nurses and, young professionals and things of that nature. But they do want to know that they're going to be able to grow with that man. So let's say, okay, I had this great conversation with a friend. And let's say, you go to Applebee's for dinner, but now it's your anniversary and you want to do something really nice, like you want to go to Morton's or something like that. And they're like, what? That's a little up there. Like, we've been going to Applebee's. Applebee's is just fine. You know what I mean? We're Applebee's people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with Applebee's? You know what I mean? But eventually you might want to do something a little bit different. Let's say when you met, you're in high school. Let's say you're in high school or you're just out of high school, and that was what the salary allowed for you guys to go to Applebee's. But now as you're growing and maturing with one another, you have to be able to grow and mature with one another. But what if that person just wants to stay here? It doesn't matter if it's the male or the female. What if they're comfortable here? People get comfortable. Right. And that's one of the things that you're talking about in Rochester. People get comfortable and stagnant. And they don't. They're like, I'm good. I'm fine being here at this level. I don't need to go here. Save that for the people who want to go there. That's not me.
So that's fine. A woman that has ambition.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm saying. I don't want, me personally, I don't want a woman who's just going to be. You gotta have some goals in mind. You gotta have some ambition, so we can both get there, right? I mean, you don't want to have a woman who. This is just my opinion, though, who doesn't have any dreams.
Right.
Right. So I want to deal with someone who has dreams. What do you want? I want to be a designer one day. Okay, well, let's try to make that happen.
Right.
May not get there now, but let's try to see if we can make that happen.
Right.
Because you're working together to make that happen, and now you're building that bond.
Exactly.
Right? So that's kind of what I realized the young lady was saying to me from Toronto is, hey, you have women there, but they may not think outside of the box and may not be willing to go the extra mile, right, to do some of those things. They may just want to go to Applebee's, right? Seeing to me, I'm like, I'm down with you. Let's go to Norton's, right? I don't ski, but I'll try it. Right. You know what I mean? If you want to try something,
it's about learning together and trying new things together, and you should be able to do that. And I really do think that, just like you said, dreaming, that's another important thing. And where when you're in a relationship, if that person says, oh, one day I want to design for Fashion Week in New York City, and you say to them, we're in Rochester, you probably won't do that. Like, you can't tear down that person, and you can't belittle them and belittle their dreams. You have to, I'm a person that a few years ago, I probably was like, okay, this is good. Yes, I'm moving to the next level. But my husband used to tell me, you don't dream big enough. He would say, oh, the money's getting low. Friday, I'm going to go and it's going to be a check in the mail. I'm like, a check from who? I don't know. It's going to be a check there. But you got to have that type of faith. And you have to have you have to be with that type of person that has that type of faith. Things aren't working right now, but things are going to be working down the line. So be, like you say, equal or, on the same playing field. I get exactly what you're saying.
But I'm really shocked you didn't know that guys run tests. Maybe test is not the right word, because the young lady was all upset. She was like, I can't believe you tested me. Oh my goodness, you test. I'm like, well, how am I,
I actually have to ask my single friends, do they test? Because I don't know.
Maybe
I wouldn't say I test. I more or less evaluate.
Okay, that's a better word to
I-
say. Yeah.
So like, let's say out to dinner, I'm watching how you ordering your meal. That's the first thing. How you operating with this person serving the food.
Watching that too.
I done served tables before. I done washed dishes. I done served it, brought the food out, I done cooked the food. This is a job, you know, how these people operate. So, my mom, love Valerie Sutton. I hate when she sends food back.
Oh.
Ooh.
I hate it with my heart and soul. So, like, if my significant other or a woman I'm out with, she does that, shorty, that's strike one.
That's a turn off.
That's a
Oh
turn
my
off.
God. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you.
But would that automatically disqualify? Because that's a behavior that can change.
No,
though.
absolutely. And I'm not going to disqualify her,
Right.
but that's a strike on your evaluation.
Right. But it can be fixed.
No, absolutely.
All right, okay,
absolutely.
all right. I just want to make sure you're not just at the gate.
So
Oh,
what
nah,
if-
you.
But then you gotta have, but see, now you have that conversation about it with her.
Right.
Now, now if
absolutely.
she blow up and it ain't go, then you know it ain't gonna work.
Right.
But if she does okay, then you know
Yeah.
we building something.
And it's
Yeah.
definitely context because I see it as, okay, this person working hard. It's not the server's fault that your food got messed up. You know what I'm saying? But you coming at this person, cursing.
Oh,
Yeah, I
no,
guess
no,
it's the
no, 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 no.
approach,
And
though.
there's a
It's
way
always
to do
the
that.
approach.
Okay,
It's
all
always
right.
the
There's a
approach.
way, because let's say that you order medium rare steak and it doesn't come out that way, and I'm like, well, it's not medium rare. Do you mind if you take it back? And
Yeah, that's no
that's
bad.
different. But if you're like,
Take this off my
take
bill.
this off my bill,
And
this
I
is
want a
not.
coupon.
Okay, don't be talking about my aunt.
I'm telling you,
Do not talk about her.
send the food back, get the coupon, free dessert.
And
all in
next
one
week we going and we getting another free meal.
That's over.
Fries hot off the
Okay, that one
fryer.
I'll be like, man, listen.
You got to think that because now
Right,
you're
right.
feeding the family for another couple days.
Right, I'm like, oh, shoot.
But so that's the thing with him. That's the thing. But you know what is a trigger for you, and I think it's important to know that when you're dating.
Right.
It's important to know that when you're in a marriage and a relationship, after you've been with someone for so long. Oh, yesterday Chris said to me, he goes, "Babe, you know, you always say, babe, why would you give me this? You know I don't like anything. You know I don't like salt on my, you know." And I'm like, because you do know. You should know. He's like, babe, you change from week to week now. The older you get, the more you change. I don't know what you like. You know, and that's the thing. But if you, let's take it here. If you know that there's something that completely turns that person off, if you care about that person and you care about relationship, you try not to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You try not to do it. Because if I said, oh, I don't like when you do this, and then you just did it the very next day, I'm
Right.
like, yo, you're poking at me. Now you testing me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that it's important to know what we will deal with. It's almost like, you guys know I have to take it back to real estate, Eric and I.
Talk about it.
Shout out to New to You Homes. It's almost like when you have this dream house and you're looking for all of these requirements, but you're like, you know what? It doesn't have the fireplace. But I can settle for not having the fireplace because it has all of these other amenities. And I feel like that's what it almost equates to. You know what I mean? Finding the perfect match for you. And
Bossy women, right?
bossy women.
Bossy women. So that's crazy to me too. So I mean, I could tell right off the bat if we having a conversation, it's like me, bossy. I'm like, okay, this ain't gonna work,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm an alpha male,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be an alpha female, right? And it's either gonna work
Yeah.
or it's
Or
gonna
not.
clash, right?
Right.
So that's another thing. So
Right.
you have to find the right female, and maybe that's because I was raised seeing a male kind of run the household, right? But there are females that
that's
run a
good.
household too. So that's something that I would need to be. I would need to have to be the alpha male.
That okay. And that's a good thing because Christopher Thomas was raised, his father ran the household.
Mhm.
I was raised, Vera Williams ran the household.
Mhm.
So we, you know, but
You clash a little bit.
we clash a lot.
Okay.
We clash a lot. Alpha.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we still get it done,
Right.
and we make it work.
Right.
So now, so are you going outside of Rochester, tying this all up? Are you going outside of Rochester looking for a wife?
Anywhere you see me at, I'm looking for a wife.
You looking?
There's
Just
always,
know that
there's always a prospect. I'm looking,
Okay.
right? So if I meet someone, it's like I said, I was so you guys didn't come, but I went to that young professional
Mm-hmm.
meeting, whatever.
Yes.
I went and I met 2 young ladies there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens,
Okay.
right? But you know, it's just I'm in a dating scene right now,
To be
right? So
continued.
I'm
You're
fishing,
dating.
you know,
That's right.
the line out there. You know what I'm saying?
You're fishing. You're fishing.
And women should be fishing too. They should know what they want in the guy.
You're
right.
right. You're right.
So I'm out here.
So what do you say for those men that are out there looking for women? Do you have some last minute advice for them?
For men who are looking for women.
Mm-hmm. Or no. From anyone that's out there single dating, men, women, a man or a woman dating. Do you have any advice for them?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't settle for less.
Don't settle.
Right? If you, the worst thing you can do is call yourself being in a relationship and being with someone and settling for less just because you don't want to be lonely or you are looking for somebody to take care of you if you get sick or something like that. I mean, because be honest with you, you can get sick and they don't take care of you.
How about that?
Right?
How about that? That is the truth.
And so, and sadly to say, money rules the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tell this to a bunch of women. You know, if I'm successful and things are well and I have a couple of pennies in my pocket, I mean, I don't care how old the young lady is. That money talk.
The money, yeah.
So you kind of have to, look at some of that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to have someone in between 35 and 45, even 50. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like my range. Okay. Young professional, preferably, don't matter where you're from. Mm-hmm. Preferably black young lady, right? Because I know in my family, a lot of the females in my family say, you got too much going on for you to be out here with some other culture, right? So you need to keep it in the culture, right? So that's like my mom, sisters, and all that kind of stuff. Yes. But I have to say, these pink girls, they giving these sisters a go.
That's gonna be a part two. Moving right along.
Eric, you talking about Victoria's Secret clothing line?
I mean, that must be what he's talking about. Eric, bring it back. Eric, bring it back. Everybody, y'all can find Dorian on Facebook. Follow up with y'all got something to say about what he just said here.
Yeah,
no, I'm just kidding.
I'm having fun,
No, I know you are.
I'm having fun.
I am.
But I know the sisters be like,
I'm not.
Believe you would say something like this.
And I'm for the culture, like you say. We travel the world. I love everybody, and I feel like whoever you find in love is who you should be with. Okay, that's how I feel. Eric, Mr. Franklin, you have anything to say?
Yes. In closing, my closing statements. So, I would say just from my own journey and process, like, don't worry about finding the right wife. Take time preparing yourself to be the right husband. Because while I was 20 to 23, I was really in the grind. Like, collectively, I went 33 months celibate by choice. You feel me? And that discipline has carried me to now where like I said, we're going on to 13 years of marriage this year. It was this book I read that really shifted my gears in regards to my perspective towards young women. It was in the book it said, and I paraphrase, it said, if you do things in your time, you get the sandbox, right? You get the sandbox. Granted, in the sandbox, you can have fun, you can play in the sand and stuff like that, but it's boxed out. But if you let God do it in His time, He'll give you the beach. You feel what I'm saying? So with the beach, it gives you access to the ocean. You can build a beach house and stuff like that, and you can still make sandcastles. So once I caught that revelation and understanding, and I'm gonna just say, like, and this was in regards to sex. You feel me? Like, so I was like, so once I caught revelation, I was like, so this whole time I've been having fun in the sandbox. But God wants so much more for me that He wanted to give me the beach. And I was like, and I was having fun in the sandbox. The beach about to blow my mind.
The beach is about to blow your
So, I love that. So that's what I would say. Take time if you're diligently looking for a wife. Take time preparing yourself to be a husband, and then God will bring her to you.
Yes.
In closing, just to touch on marriage, as a young man, I think my fear with marriage and/or my kind of lack of understanding with it is my emotions personally. I feel like my emotions are ever changing day to day, week to week, month to month, and I can't say the same person I want to be around right now, same person I want to be around in May. And not to the effect that I want all these different type of women, but I'm afraid that a woman is going to get 3-4 years down the line. Hey, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? He's 60, he's 70%, but I need more.
Right. It's a valid.
You know what I'm saying? So as a young man, to put my everything, my soul, and like I said, I'm only 22. To put my everything into someone and to hope that it's going to be there for the rest of my. That's a jump. That's a jump. Yeah. So, by all means, I don't ever take love or separate it like that. But that's always in the back of my head because I know how I bounce back and forth.
You got time too.
Right,
and he has time. And when it happens, you'll know. When it happens, I feel like you'll know. Yeah. And that's the thing. Marriage, it's so funny. It's daily. It's like a business. It is a daily. You wake up every morning and you may not always like that person, but you still have to love that person. Right. So it's a daily thing. It's a daily thing. Trust me, it's a daily thing. But I just really appreciate you guys for even coming on the show because, like I said, I had a very difficult time getting men on the show, and I hope I can get more men on the show this year. And I appreciate y'all sharing. I really appreciate you guys sharing. And I hope something comes from this. I hope we helped someone today. I hope we touched someone today. I hope Dorian's wife is out there.
Man, stop playing.
I hope Adam's wife out there. Listen, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter.
Eve, my man Adam, right here. You understand where my man Adam Eve at?
Listen, whatever. I ain't gonna put it out because
Yeah, you don't want that kind of. He don't want that kind of.
Just filter them out, bro. Throw it out.
Exactly.
See what?
So we appreciate you guys. Whether it's marriage that's for you or dating, whatever is out there, we wish you the best. Thank you for watching Time to Talk with Ty.
Peace.
That wasn't 20 minutes.
No, how long was it?
That was a long time.
Was it?
That's a lot.
Yo, we were talking.
That was a long
That's good. I thought it was not right.
I've been sitting here all my life.
Other than that, like I'm in the candy store grabbing everything. But it's just.
Look how Latoya looking at you.
Would you guys ever do that? Mm-hmm. But you have to watch the show.
Nah, because I gotta see. I don't
Different strokes with it. Like, I need to see.
Right.
I don't got time. Like,
but I don't need it to be good, and next thing you know, she ain't coming out right. I just got to turn my. I'm sorry.
Really?
You would turn around?
I would turn around.
I would like, yeah, this ain't that. So
I would turn blind date. The first thing I went in there, and it was Applebee's. I went to one.
Oh, a franchise restaurant.
Yeah. Applebee's is safe, right? That's Applebe's is
this one right here. She gonna be next on the show.
Applebe's is a place you can go where you know it ain't gonna be crazy. I went at the bar, and I looked across the bar, and I'm like, okay, she looking right. I'm attracted to her. I'm gonna go up to the bar. Now, if she wasn't attractive,
you would just stay where you was
at. You will meet someone that you can't wait to get home to.
Right.
Every day you can't wait. Work is taking too long because you can't wait to sit on the couch with that person. Like, when you feel like that, then you'll know that you're ready. Right now it's like, oh my God, is he going to be at the house waiting when I get here? I'm not. And then you'll have some days with your husband where you're like, Lord, is he going to be at the house? Or is he gonna be playing golf? Whatever, you know what I mean. Just because you need that on time,
right.
But you'll meet somebody that nobody else compares to them, and you're happy where you're at, and your head's not turning nowhere else because that is what it is. Yeah. Thank you for watching Time to Talk with Ty. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel and my blog at tytime.com. Join me for more amazing guests and topics, and also feel free to comment below about this episode or ideas for upcoming episodes.